Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the separation of mixtures. Up till now we have talked about the properties of mixture and we have seen that the mixtures are impure substances. And we have also observed that the mixtures are mixed in any proportion and we do not need any chemical method for separation of those mixtures. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the physical methods by which we can separate the different mixtures. The methods of separation of mixture is of different types. It depends on two things. What is the property of the mixture? Now it can be of two types. One is solid-solid mixture and another is the solid-liquid mixture. Now the solid-solid mixture is having three types of separation techniques. First is called sieving, second is called magnetic separation, and third is called sublimation. The solid-liquid mixture is having also three methods of separation. First is called sedimentation and decantation. Second is called filtration and the third is evaporation. The first method of separating a solid-solid mixture is sieving. What do we mean by a solid-solid mixture? That means that the components of that mixture are all in solid form. Here, the principle that is involved in separating the mixture is the difference in size of the solid particles that are used in the mixture. Here we need one equipment which is called a sieve or a strainer. Now a sieve or strainer is used to separate those mixtures, and when we are sieving the mixture, the larger particles of the mixture are retained in the siever and at the bottom the smaller particles are collected. Examples include the separation of sand and gravel. Here the gravel is retained in the strainer and sand is collected in the bottom. Rice powder from soil. The soil is retained in the strainer or the siever and rice powder is fine, so it is collected at the bottom. Coarse sand from fine sand. Here the coarse sand particles are higher in size, so they are retained in the strainer, and fine sand, being the finer particles, are collected at the bottom. Bran and wheat flour. The bran is of being the higher size of the particles. It is collected in the strainer and the wheat flour is collected at the bottom. The second method of separating a solid-solid mixture is magnetic separation. And in magnetic separation, we can guess from the name only, the principle involved is the magnetic and the non-magnetic property of the particles. Magnetic property of the particle means when a magnet is kept in close proximity to the particle, if the particle is magnetic, it will get stuck to the magnet. And if it is non-magnetic, it won't get attracted to the magnet. So here also we need one equipment which is the magnet. The magnetic substances like iron particles will get attached to the magnet. For example, if I am mixing sulfur powder with the iron filings, here the two solid particles that are participating in the mixture is sulfur and iron. Now in the mixture, if I keep a magnet in close proximity, the iron filings will get attracted to the magnet and will get stuck to its surface. By that process, I can easily separate the sulfur powder from the iron filings. The third and the final method of separating the solid-solid mixture is called sublimation. The principle involved in this method is the sublimable and the non-sublimable nature of the solid. Now, what are sublimable solids? We know that normally if we heat a solid particle, it will turn into the liquid phase, and then upon further heating, the liquid phase will turn into the gaseous phase. But there are some of the solids present which upon heating will turn directly into the gaseous or vapor phase, escaping this liquid phase. Those types of solids are known as the sublimable solids. So these sublimable solids like iodine, camphor, naphthalene, ammonium chloride, etc. when are present in a mixture, we can separate those mixtures by the method of sublimation. Here, when upon heating, the sublimable substance will just turn into vapor, and upon cooling, the vapor will again give the crystal of the sublimable solid, and the non-sublimable solid will remain behind in the bowl. Suppose I am given a mixture of iodine crystal and sand. In this mixture, the iodine crystal is the sublimable solid. So how can I separate it? I will take the mixture in a glass bowl and I will put a funnel on the top side of it and will protect the end of the funnel with a piece of cotton. Now I will heat the mixture with the help of a Bunsen burner. Upon heating, the iodine crystal, being the sublimable salts, will just turn into vapor and be collected on the surface of the funnel, and the sand will remain in the bowl. So that is how I can separate the sublimable solids from the non-sublimable solids. The separation of ammonium chloride and sodium chloride follows the same method and principle. Now we will discuss about the methods of separating a solid liquid mixture. The first method is filtration, and in filtration the principle involved is insoluble solid particles will get retained and the soluble particles will be collected in the below. So the filtration method is also used in purifying the water that we drink on our daily life. Here we need one more equipment which is called the filter paper. The filter paper is a type of paper which will help in the process of filtration. So I am having a mixture of water and sand. Now we know that the sand particles are not soluble in water. So I will take one long glass jar and I will keep one funnel in the mouth of the glass jar, and I will put the filter paper inside the funnel. Now I will put the mixture of water and sand on the filter paper through the funnel. Now the sand particles being insoluble will be retained in the filter paper as residue, and we will have the pure water collected as filtrate at the base of the or bottom of the glass jar. So the separation of water and sand, separation of chalk powder and water follows the same principle and method. The second method of separating a solid liquid mixture is called sedimentation and decantation. Here the principle involved is two principles are involved. First, the sedimentation means that settling down of the insoluble solid particles by the work of gravity on standing for some time in an insoluble liquid mixture, and then the clear water or any other solute that is collected on the upper side will be collected by pouring it into another container. So here I am having a mixture of muddy water, that means mud or soil mixed in water. Now if I keep this mixture properly without movement for some time, by the work of gravity the mud will get deposited at the bottom of the glass jar because mud is heavier than water, and at the upper side we will have the clear water. Now without disturbing the settled mud, very carefully we will just pour the clear water into another glass jar with the help of a glass rod by the process of decantation. the liquid collected, which is the water, is poured out into a separate beaker. So the settling down of the mud at the bottom by the work of gravity is the first part, which is sedimentation, and pouring of the clear water into another glass jar or a beaker is called decantation. Separation of impurities in drinking water can also be performed by this method. The final method of separating a solid liquid mixture is called evaporation. The evaporation of liquid component in a soluble solid liquid mixture is the principle involved in this separating technique. Here, when I am taking a mixture of water and salt, now I know that if I mix a spoonful of salt into water, the salt will get completely mixed into the water. Here the salt is the solid component and water is the liquid component. Now if I heat this mixture on an evaporating disc with the help of a Bunsen burner, after some time the water will get evaporated in the vapor form and will get mixed in the atmosphere, and in the evaporating dish the salt particles will remain back. So although in this method we can separate the solid and the liquid substance, but we cannot get back the liquid substance as it is lost in the atmosphere as vapor. So here the evaporation of common salt solution or the seawater, which is also high in salt content, is done by evaporation technique.